Fresh from being one of the best-selling audio products of all time, the sequel has arrived. 5 years in the making. Has it really been that long? Now with ANC and transparency modes, wireless charging, a larger battery, a more powerful chip, a lighter and smaller design, a smaller pocketable case, new colours, and all for the exact same £249 price. These are the new Powerbeats Pro 2. I mean, need I go on? Is there anything else you need to know? But all jokes aside, and apologies for my terrible movie trailer voice attempt there, I've been using the new Powerbeats Pro 2 for nearly a month now, and there's quite a lot to talk about. Not only the pros and cons, but also where these earbuds fit in the market, who are they for, and the interesting direction that Apple has taken with these, because many feel, or certainly felt, that Apple had acquired Beats to silence a competitor, if you will. But with this new release, it seems nothing could be further from the truth, as these are a pretty hefty leap from the previous Powerbeats Pro, which actually feels slightly un-Apple-like, usually preferring to tweak as opposed to overhaul. But then again, we have waited nearly 5 years for this second gen. Now, the fact that these are made under the Apple umbrella, and the fact that they are, for all intents and purposes, in that same ballpark price-wise at £249, the AirPods Pro 2 are the natural biggest comparison. And as much as I love my AirPods Pro 2, the Powerbeats Pro 2 do a lot of what the AirPods do to the same, if not a better standard. Take the fit, for example. Now, for the record, I have never had any problems with AirPods falling out of my ears. I guess I'm eerily blessed. If that's even a thing. Weird flex, I know, but we move. But I know that many of you do struggle with keeping AirPods in your ears, especially when working out, for example. And this is the first perfect reason to opt for the Powerbeats Pro 2, as they are absolutely imperious in this department. You have replacement ear tips, just like the last ones, and the arm goes up and over the top of your ear, just like the last ones, and they can't fall out. In fact, I'd go as far as saying if these are falling out of your ears, then that is legitimately a you problem at this point. I've been using these for going on runs, football training, dog walks with Barney, and they just don't move. They also fit better in the case than the original, something I always used to struggle with. And they're also sweat and rain resistant too, with that IPX4 rating. On top of that, they are also nice and robust. I've been pretty hefty-handed using these over the last few weeks, especially chucking them in and out of my tech bag, which has been pretty full, rammed with other tech. So it's been, knocking and bouncing alongside other bits and pieces. And apart from a couple of little scuffs here and there, they've handled that stress and strain really, really well. And if you had the black version, as opposed to the sand version that I have here, I think it's called sand. If not, I'll put it here. They might even look more durable too, having that darker appearance. So basically, to cut a long story short, these would be probably pretty excellent for the rugged user, the trekkers, hikers, runners, climbers, and the like. I also really like the fact that we have actual physical buttons for volume and your play, pause, skipping tracks, and Siri voice assistant using the Beats logo. I think the AirPods Pro 2 have probably the best touch points and sliders on a pair of earbuds, feeling almost like actual physical buttons. Great job they've done there, but there's nothing like actual physical buttons. And I'm definitely choosing those over things like voice control if given the choice. But if you did want to use Siri, you can, and the Powerbeats Pro 2 do have the latest Apple H2 chip inside, as seen in the AirPods Pro 2, offering better connectivity with other Apple devices, spatial audio, and ANC. And interestingly, they are more advanced than the new AirPods Max, which still only has the H1 chip. And remember what I said about that Beats-Apple relationship. Many talks about Beats being forgotten or prioritised less under this new umbrella, but with these sorts of moves, that kind of throws a little bit of shade to those theories. But speaking of ANC, this is where things do get, in my opinion, a little less rosy, as it's kind of just okay. The option is there, it works quite well, but in my experience, there are better ANC devices out there for sure, including the AirPods Pro 2. I've been travelling a lot with these over the last few weeks, through airports, on aeroplanes, taxis, street noise, tech convention halls, and it does help to block out some of that chatter and general hustle and bustle of life, but aeroplane noise, surrounding music, machinery, etc. does filter its way through a lot more easily, so your listening experience can sometimes be slightly less immersive. Transparency mode too seems slightly inferior, but it is a lot closer to the AirPods Pro 2 in terms of quality and works pretty well indeed. I just wish the ANC, the active noise cancellation, just had a little more oomph to it. But what about the oomph of the sound? Beats have always been considered pretty bass heavy, with just quite a saturated sound, but the Powerbeats Pro 2 simply aren't that. To me, they feel much less bass heavy, much more well balanced, more rounded, and I think many will find them pleasant to listen to. Are they audiophile quality? Well, no, probably not. I don't think you can currently get that still in this small, wireless earbud package, but impressive they are for sure. If you pull your earbuds out, the music auto pauses. They are lighter than the previous gen, they have double the battery life of the AirPods Pro 2 at 10 hours, and about the same or slightly more when using the case at 35 hours. But one really cool feature is, if you like this sort of jam, the fact they are the first wireless earbuds that actually have inbuilt heart rate monitoring. Again, making these absolutely brilliant for gym goers and sports and health fanatics. And as you can probably hear, I sound a little bit unhealthy right now. I've got a bit of a common cold. Not quite bad enough to get away with lying in bed all day, but still sounding a little bit ropey, so I apologise for this nasal voice you're hearing right now. Pairing is super easy. With an iPhone, you just get that automatic pop-up thanks to the H2 chip, and with Android, it's fine too. You just go to your Bluetooth section and Bob's your uncle. They will be there to pair. Very, very seamless, very, very quick. And they're really comfy too. I can't say I can wear them all day. I probably get to around sort of 3-4 hours and then I might need to have a little shift around. I think that's perfectly acceptable. And again, I must add, I do like the fact that they have shrunk down that case, which means they are still not quite as portable as some others, but you can fit them in your pocket without too many problems, and I will generally put these in my bag anyway. So Apple has managed to, in a way, beat themselves here. Nearly worked. Beat. Give me the benefit of the doubt, maybe. Because these Powerbeats Pro 2 are a huge step up from the first generation, and in my opinion, offer enough at basically the same price to be a potentially better option for a lot of people than the gold standard of wireless earbuds, if you will, in the AirPods Pro 2. Great job, Apple. Great job, Beats. These are a serious audio product, and I think they will sell really well.